Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and it's a beautiful evening near the end of August. And today I wanted to talk to you about another herb of the week. This year we're focusing on herbs, and today's herb is Stevia. Now, Stevia is a fun herb to grow. It's one that I've grown in Southern California, where it's a tender perennial, and here in Utah, where it's counted as an annual. So I wanted to show you what it looks like, how to grow it, and how I use it. Now, this is the very end of August, and this is my Stevia. I always start my Stevia by seed. I've actually also been able to find it at nurseries. But I start my Stevia by seed in the spring, usually right around February. It takes a long time to sprout, and it takes a long time to get established in their nursery pots. So I start them out in a small 6-pack, and then I move them up to a 4-inch pot. And then as soon as all sign of frost has passed, I put them in my garden beds. Now, I love growing water-efficient herbs, but Stevia is not one of those. They're not water-efficient at all. They need to be planted where they're going to get plenty of moisture and really good soil, so I always put them in my garden beds. They can get probably 2 feet tall and wide. Here in Utah, mine stay a little bit smaller. I think it's probably the heat and the short growing season. You can also actually propagate these by taking cuttings in the fall and then growing them indoors over the winter. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I'll try that this year, but I don't know. We'll see. So I have some growing in my garden beds, and let me show you where else I have them growing. Now, these are the green stalks on my deck. They're gloriously overgrown, and they're probably in need of a revitalization, but as I said, this is the end of August, and it's just about time for them to be done anyway. And earlier this spring, I did have an extra Stevia plant or two. I think there's probably 2 in here. And I had extra spots in my green stalks, so I decided to see how well they would grow in the green stalks. And they did pretty well. Let me show you what they look like right now. So way back under here, it's kind of hard to see. I can't turn my green stalks anymore because they're just too full. We have a Stevia plant. You can see that we did have a branch break off in a windstorm, but it's still growing pretty nicely. Now, if I had actually gone in and pruned these a little bit, I would have had bushier plants. But I just decided to see how well they would do without pruning and just on their own. So this is what it looks like in the green stalk. So as long as they get the right conditions, Stevia can grow pretty much wherever you want to put them. They can grow in ground, they can grow in pots, they can grow in your green stalks, but they do need regular water. They like moist soil, they don't like to dry out, they like a good deal of fertilizer, and they like to have rich soil. Now, the way I use Stevia is near the end of the year before it flowers, and it's just about time for it to start flowering. But before they flower, I like to cut it back and dehydrate the leaves. Now, let me pull off one leaf and show you what it looks like. So Stevia leaves are pretty small, but they have a ton of sweetness in them. Much, much sweeter than sugar. And after you dehydrate them, they're actually a lot sweeter. My kids used to love to just snack on these. Now, for using them in cooking, it is a little bit different than the regular Stevia that you find in the grocery store. If you use your dehydrated Stevia or your fresh Stevia, you will have a little bit of a grassy flavor to it. It's not unpleasant, but you do have to be prepared for that. If you want to have the actual sweetness without the grassy overtone, you will need to distill the sweetness out of the Stevia plant. Now, I've never done that before. I don't know how it's done. You might also be able to do a decoction. I'm not sure, but you can't just take the Stevia leaves, grind them up, and use them as a sweetener without that grassy overtone. But I do use them to sweeten my teas. The grassy overtone is not unpleasant, and they're really easy to use. I absolutely love Stevia. Now, Stevia, I'm not sure if it's considered medicinal, but it's an excellent sweetener for diabetics. It's one of the better natural sweeteners out there. Now, I would love to hear if you've been growing Stevia. If you grow Stevia, where you're located, where you grow it. Is it a perennial in your area, and how large does it get? How many years have you been able to winter it over? In California, I usually got 2 or 3 winters out of it, and then I would have to start it over, and I usually started it over by cuttings. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.